This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone. So remember we did last week, we went ahead and did the front page of our tech pack, which is what you see on the sample right here. And this is what I showed you how to make in Excel. And then I told you to make this back page the same way and with just the back view of it. So the header remains the same as we go down. So today we'll be talking about the details page. So here, if you see in the sample, they put in the same tech pack of the front, and then they just labeled certain things like self-ribbing bias binding that goes across the neckline, overlapping binding to place the joint past the shoulder towards the back. Again, they labeled that. The self-facing bias fabric goes under the armhole because it's sleeveless. And then what they did was they sort of made a circle here and showed you the detail view of that inside of that to show the self-facing, self-fabric bias facing inside view, and then the joint bias in the underarm that would go here that you can't see in this. So just sort of showed it to you here. And then the dart, the dart folds down inside view, and so they made a detail on that because this doesn't have that many details, so they sort of did the details where they needed to, and that's the details page that you have to work on next for this week. And again, if you have extra details, you can go ahead and put this. They put in a bra strap here where there would be a button on this end. You could put your bra, loop this around the bra so you don't have to worry about that slipping out and being visible. And they've shown it in an open way. So if you have extra details, you need to make more details pages. You can make as many or as few as you want. If you don't have any details, that's fine. You can skip that page. So the main page that we will be talking about today is this one, the points of measure. So for this one, they still, again, of course, you use the front of your garment, the front flat of your garment that you have. But on this one, you will highlight as you will outline, like, sorry, line parts where you would write from T to A, it says shoulder point to point. So T is right here, and then A would be here. So T to A would be the shoulder point to point, and you would add the grading and then the size that is your garment on this side. So in your tech pack, you would still remain with this header that we have right here. You would change this front view, and you would here write points of measure is what you would write. For this one, since it's moving towards that side, I would actually do, I would move it here to centralize it. Of course, that was just what I was showing you last time. I would start here to write what it says, points of measure, woven, but of course you would change that to whatever your garment is. Guess measurements are whole measure. So some of these measurements would be all around, like the chest at 1 inch from armhole. They're showing it at 40. You can't have half of it as a 40 in a size 8, so they're showing that as a whole measurement. From the shoulder point to shoulder point, of course, that's a whole measurement as well, because that is going to be from that to that. The back would be different. So that's where they're telling you that they're mostly doing whole measurements, because this part to this part, the T to C, if you see, is just going to be the front, of course, because it's your armhole, mid to armhole, so chest to chest, sort of. Across front, at 6 inches from highest point of shoulder. So 6 inches down from the highest point of your shoulder, they took it and then they measured the across front, and that is a whole measurement because across back would be a separate measurement. So they're generally just saying that the measurements are whole measures. And wherever you don't have a measurement, you put that in, but you don't have a measurement, so you just put in non-applicable, or you don't put those measurements in. Either way works fine. Again, you would put that on top right here. Points of measure. Again, if yours is non-woven, you put in non-woven. And then, no, what is wrong with you? And in the brackets, you could put in whole measurements, of course. Are whole measurements. Measure. Bracket closed. And then I would wait and start here with the top of it, and I will not highlight anything. Sorry, I pressed. Then top, back measurements. And then, of course, the next, these three would sort of accommodate everything for you. And then the next would be total, TOL bracket plus bracket, then total bracket, negative bracket, and then size 8. If you do size 10 or whatever you feel like you want to do, I'm going to align them centrally so that they're in the middle of, I don't know why that went capital when the others didn't. So I'm gonna align them the same way and align. Okay, and then next line, of course, I'm going to outline. First, I'm going to put in the information, T2A, T2B, T2C, whatever you want to do that. And then you will, of course, again, do the outline, borders, bottom, top border, all around borders if you want to do. Here you could not do all borders because of course the boxes, there would be then 3 lines in the middle cutting everything. So this would be just outside borders on that one, and then code and everything. This would get all borders. And then your sketch would go on the side or the bottom, depending on how you want to do it. And then the rest of the page would be empty. So please go ahead and get started. This part where you say total plus and total negative is one size below or above the size 8 and one size below the size 8 would be what they're talking about. The total measurements, positive this much or negative this much could sort of also, this could also be where you could add or subtract and according to how you feel like the garment is being made, and if it's more or less. But then generally they just put it there. You need to just copy these measurements and put them in there. For the size 8 where the actual measurements are, you have to measure your garment that you made, the front and back and the details page 4. I need you to measure that garment. That same garment is what you would use to put these points on to make sure you know which way you're measuring, and those measurements would go here. Okay, so I know this is just the top. It would have for yours, it would have a hip measurement. It would have the total length where here it says T to J, T to K is from the tip of the shoulder, the highest point of the shoulder, to the hem would be to the hem at the bottom of the skirt if you have a dress. So your measurement for that would be a longer measurement, but it would still be from the tip of this shoulder point to the bottom of wherever your fabric, your garment ends. And then the rest of the top measurements would be the same. If you have a sleeve, then you would have a sleeve measurement. If you don't, then you would just either eliminate these 3 measurements or just put not applicable on them. And then for the skirt, you would have the hip, you would have where it closes, what the hem part is, where that would be. So you would have that as an added. And that is the only 2 extras that you would need if you have a dress. And so here it says HPS position. It tells you this part of the garment is the highest point of the shoulder, where the neckline and the shoulder meet at the tip of tip is the highest point at HPS position. So wherever it says HPS, this is the position they're talking about. So go ahead and get started. Maquita, I went ahead and graded your tech pack pages. I actually didn't grade them, but I saw them and I commented on that, I think. I cannot give you a grade on the tech pack till you all are done with all of the pages, but I have seen it and I've checked it. If there was anything I needed you to fix, I would have told you. Kira, I did not get your tech pack, so I couldn't give you attendance. I don't know what's going on, why you weren't able to put it in, because the rest of your assignments have been graded. Both of your assignments, all of them have been graded and the grades have been put in. The only thing I'm missing from you, Kira, is the first 2 pages of the tech pack, the front and back view. And then now this week, I'm going to need the details page if you have it, or and if you don't, that's of course, you know, I don't need it, but I do need the points of measure page. The points of measure page has to be in for you to get attendance. Please be sure the points of measure page has to be in by Sunday to get attendance. So you have this whole week to work on just this one page. The next page that we will be working on after this is the grade page. And for that one, you just have to copy this page, but I will explain it a little more next on I think we'll do that on the next week's class. So this week I will just, we did this class and the points of measure and the details page are it. And if you haven't, and since one of you haven't done the front and back view page, that too would be it. And then I will do another video next Monday for the bills of material and the grade page. And then we will go from there, because after that, it's just the label and packaging page that you would need to work on. And then this is the fit history page, which would just be where you would put everything that you already have from the points of measure page in this part, and just add these parts as much as you can, because this is where it goes back to the factories and comes in again. And this is just another sample evaluation comments page, which is a generic page that you just have to highlight most of the things and then add these headings the way they are, and that is it. So the last 2 pages would be very fast, so we could do them both in at once. And the main one now left is the label and packaging, because you have to make your label, what your care labels are, how you want it packaged, and then the bills of material and construction page, how these 2 would work. And then this is, again, of course, a bit of the generic, so you don't have to worry about that much on this one. So the points of measure page is your current main page right now. Please go ahead and get started and get it in by Sunday night, so you can get your attendance, as well as I can grade. I will keep on grading it on my end, but you won't see a grade till the final tech pack is in, all the pages are in, and I can grade everything and then put it in. Okay, so please keep working on it, and I will see you both soon, hopefully. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.